Welcome to episode 7 of the Life Coaching with Ryan book club. It's a little bit early, but I'm making it happen. Today we are doing the final last word, i.e. wrapping up the Willpower Instinct and moving on to book number 2, which I'll get to in a minute. First, I wanted to talk about my experience reading the Willpower Instinct, do a little summation of the book, and then introduce number 2. So, first off, the most awesome and simultaneously most frustrating part of this book for me is that it is definitely written for students. The first 3 chapters had a really good pace, in my opinion. I felt like I was getting new and interesting information, and it was really driving me forward. And then the remaining chapters seemed like she was wanting to give unbiased information up front to help people identify with their struggle, and then do solutions at the very end or toward the very end, which I personally found difficult because I was mentally solving the described problems before we got to the end. I'm like, why isn't she talking about this? Why isn't she talking about this? Why isn't she talking about this? And then she would talk about all those things. So part of that is just my own needing to learn some patience in that context. But that was difficult for me. And it tended to be a simplified version at the end, which I understand. Again, it's meant for people just being introduced to the science of willpower. But I was hoping for something just a little bit more advanced. That definitely happened in the last chapter, in chapter 9. I felt like it had that advanced content. But there was a lot of burying the lead in chapters 7 and 8. Just really waiting to the last minute to be like, oh, and here's the thing that I'm referring to in the title of the chapter. For me, major takeaways, I'm actually going to summarize or paraphrase page 237, because I think it's a good way to kind of get an overview of the book truly in its entirety. And that is that self-control is a matter of understanding that we all have competing drives, and that guilt, stress, and shame, while temporarily effective, don't lead to long-term gains. Instead, the secret is paying attention with decreasing judgment to what is happening inside you, being willing to experience it, and then make conscious choices. I think that is super duper duper critical. Again, the decreasing of judgment through simple observation and being willing to be present for icky experiences. And it gives us the freedom of choice that we wouldn't otherwise have, and gives us opportunities, therefore, to make different choices than we have in the past, not be on autopilot, as she puts it. So, my question for the wrap-up of the book is, what is your current perspective about willpower and self-control? What is your current perspective about willpower and self-control? Maybe it's changed from reading the book or watching these videos. Perhaps it's the same. Give me some details in the comments. And with that, I would like to introduce the second book of the book club that will begin with episode 8, and that is Fuck Feelings. This one, when I first asked about book ideas and gave a list, this was one of the top choices for the people that responded, and then it was a split between this book and Recovery by Russell Brand. Maybe it's the yellow cover, and continuing the theme of yellow covers. Maybe it is the irreverence, but I'm excited about this book. And just to give you a little preview, and I actually think it's an excellent segue from the Willpower Instinct, I want to read a paragraph from page 2 in the introduction. And when we do episode 8, I will do the introduction and my plans for the book. As we know from Willpower Instinct, my plans changed about 3 episodes in, as I got to experience the book and the material and how I might present it. So that may happen again. Fair warning. So, Fuck Feelings, this book, explains that in most cases you have not failed and do not need to try harder or wait longer for improvement to begin. Instead, you need to accept that life is hard, and your frustrated efforts are a valuable guide to identifying what you can't change. After urging you to accept whatever it is you can't change about your personality, behavior, spouse, kid, feelings, boss, country, pet, etc., the Fuck Feelings approach shows you how to become much more effective at managing life's impossible problems, instead of vainly and persistently trying to change them. If you're willing to accept what you can't change, we have many positive suggestions for improving the way you manage the shit on your plate, beginning with not wasting time repeating what hasn't been working. This is going to be fun. These chapters are longer than the Willpower Instinct, so I'm anticipating butting up against that 10-minute time limit for IGTV anyway. YouTube is going to be an interesting venue for this, as I post there typically after IGTV. So, depending on engagement, some of this might end up on Twitch too, because if 10 minutes isn't going to be enough, 10 minutes isn't going to be enough. And there may actually be part 1, part 2, part 3 of the same episode if I'm putting it on IGTV. We'll very much see. I would love to see some of you all over on Twitch. I think it would be fun to interact around these books in a much more free-form way than just direct address to the camera. So let me know. Also with live streams, if I ever get anyone hopping on these, because I know I'm doing it at odd times right now, I'll certainly take questions in advance of starting the episode proper, because then I can respond to that as part of the episode. I might still be able to keep it in 10 minutes, but we shall see. With that said, I hope you all are having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you have had some cool takeaways from the Willpower Instinct to help you in your daily lives, and I suspect this is going to be more of that same goodness. With that, I say see y'all soon, Monday, theoretically, for those who are jumping in with me on Mondays when I go live. Other than that, be well. I'll see you later.